So before I do the tarot cards, I always start off with doing oracles. And the oracle cards are cards that give a theme, or in my case, what I asked before, what I asked Spirit and meditated on was to get to the root. All I know is that you're struggling and you're having a hard time, and we can use tarot for guidance and for advice and see what's going on and how you should handle these things. Anyway, when I was using the oracles, and one card flew out, and it was called the Village, and that's what it looks like. And this card talks about a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of fitting in, family, home. You ever heard the saying, it takes a village? Finding your place in the world, finding a place where you fit in, where you stand out, where you can be heard and seen in an appropriate way. It can also talk about expanding your horizon, because when I see this card, this kind of looks scary back here. So maybe in order to break a cycle or to have something come full circle, you could be encouraged to I'm getting move move away. I don't know if that's something that you're thinking about, but the place sometimes where you're rooted or where you're established is not always best. And I don't know, we'll get more information on that, but that's what I was called to say. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. That would be silly. So the card on the bottom of the deck, after I had shuffled and that flew out, I looked at the bottom, and there's the card of the vow. So I do know that you're married. There could be something stemming within your relationship. Also, this could pertain to the Village. The vow talks about a promise, a commitment, something sacred, just something that you're invested in. And the Village. So when I was saying that I wanted to get to the root of the issues of why you're struggling, it seems to be rooted within a support system, or maybe a lack thereof. And it could be that from your significant other. I just have to do the tarot now and figure this out. So, all right. So, Spirit, please allow me to receive the messages and interpret them in a clear and understanding fashion so that Felicia can receive the guidance and advice that she needs. Thank you for allowing me to be a direct channel and receive any downloads and intuitive messages that you have energetically and through these cards. So first of all, there's the World, which is interesting because look at that. You see how there's a circle here, and then there's a circle there. And so there's some sort of cycle that needs to be broken. Or there's some sort of something coming full circle. So I'm going to get more information, but the World has to do with cycles beginning and cycles ending. Let's keep going. So something has to happen here. Oh, I'll take them. Okay. The Three of Pentacles. Now, I don't know again, I don't know your relationship with your husband or anything, but the Three of Pentacles card is always my card for a third party intervening. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a cheating situation. It can be an addiction. So a third party being there's something else in the mix of the relationship that is causing a tower moment. And a tower moment is a shake up, it's a wake up call, followed by the devil energy. This is a toxic energy. These are the ties that bind you, the chains that hold you down. And followed by the Two of Pentacles. You're having a hard time juggling all of this. This is very difficult to carry. Yeah. So the Tower. We're going to talk about the Tower for a second. And and this card, honestly, it kind of reminds me of the Tower, because you see this very scary situation. It almost looks volcanic in a sense, like, or a wildfire or something like that. And there's an ocean out here and you're trying to get away and get to the safe place. That's just what I feel. And so here, the same little animals down here, they're trying to get into this little safe place, something that's away from this lightning. So what these two cards have in common is something has happened or will happen that is going to be a reality check. It's going to be a wake-up call. But it's for your greater good. It's to release you of whatever is keeping you stuck, because that's what the Devil card's about. The Devil card can be about temptation. It can be about it's not necessarily the devil. It's just things that the devil can put into your mind. He, tempt you. And you see on this card, it's like a little puppet, holding you by strings. Like, what is it that is holding you stuck? And remember what I said, this card sometimes can be about a place that you feel stuck. Just because you say you want to live in your hometown, or in this place, well, maybe that it's hindering you rather than helping you. Does that make sense? Very interesting so far. Okay. Can you give me more information about the Three of Pentacles, please? Like I said, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles is my card for a third party intervening. And so a lot of times it is another person. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, another person cheating. It can be another family member getting involved in your relationship, like a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, or, somebody that's intervening or causing a disruption. And the Three of Pentacles is usually about working together, but the way I read tarot, that's not how I read it. But remember, it's all about first a cycle being broken. So this has to come to a close. Whatever this is, this has to stop. And I feel like you know that. Oh, I had cards fly out in the meantime. Okay. Okay, that's so crazy because this card here reminds me of this card. Okay, because you see there's water, and she's leaving this storm. It's like she's coming forth to calmer waters. There's something leading her. There's something else. There's something else here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and this is a card of healing. So there's good news. There's good news. So the Page of Swords. Somebody could be, this is a kind of my card of like a stalkery energy. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's like I'm keeping tabs on you. I'm keeping tabs on you even though you're gone, even though you're leaving, or even though you're doing something else, or you're going to be somewhere else, or you're doing something better for yourself. Somebody's looking in. And I don't know how you want to take that however you can, or however you want, but this is an opportunity. And you have the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. So the Ace of Pentacles is an offer. It's an offer. It can be a job offer. It can be a new place to live offer. It can be anything that's going to bring you something in your 3D reality, something you can physically be within, something you can physically see in front of you. So like money, a home, items. I mean, it could be really anything. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be an object, something that you can hold, that's tangible, whatever. It's something, somebody could be offering you their love. Because you do have 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, and it can often be times finding your true love. You see how happy those people are, but it can also be within your family, the village, the vow, the marriage. So, and the Page of Pentacles represents an opportunity. See, they're holding the Ace of Pentacles, so they're holding the offer. So they're going to accept the offer, and you see this brings emotional fulfillment. So, the village, perhaps this gives me more vibes of maybe you should expand your horizons. I really felt that also. Maybe sometimes the place that you're in is not always the best place to be, and sometimes you know you're not financially able to just move or pack up your shit and go. It takes planning and time, but you know, with strategy, the Page of Swords can also be about strategy. It can be about forming a strategy and a plan to go and accept an opportunity. If you know, if you got another job offer, or you've got, you know, something coming in, like, I don't know, just a job offer is an example. You're being encouraged to accept that. Do something outside of your comfort zone. Yeah, let's get more information on that. What is the offer? The Ace of Swords. Somebody's going to speak the truth. The truth will come out about something. You might not believe it, but there's some truth coming to light. Oh, there's a card right here. Interesting. The Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, that's a fast-moving energy. And the Knight of Swords is usually a person who's a runner. They're an escape. They escape. They're like they're quick, but they're also honest. They're also honest, and they're also but they're flighty. I don't know who that could be to you, but could be yourself even. You might feel like you're, you know, fight or flight, or you might feel like you have to get up and go, something quick. The High Priestess. Okay, so these cards are great. Whatever information you do receive, whatever truth or whatever, this is really about information. And I don't know, I'm getting all of a sudden a message. I don't know if you have psychic ability. I feel like you might, but you don't really believe it, or you don't lean into it. But I feel like I'm hearing that you already know the truth. I feel like the High Priestess is also a quiet energy. So whatever information, however you receive it, if somebody's telling you the truth, or if you get a truth in your own mind, like you just know something, you might not want to share it with other people, because the High Priestess is a quiet energy. It's a silent energy. And even though the Knight of Swords is pretty much like the opposite of that, I feel like it's just like it's going to be so It's going to happen faster than you think, because the Knight of Swords is a fast energy. So whatever this truth is, okay, so remember I said somebody's going to offer you something. Well, somebody's going to finally offer you the truth. They're going to tell you the truth. And you might not want to, share that information with everyone. You're being encouraged just to trust your intuition and maybe meditate on it before you share that information with other people. Sometimes it's not for everybody else to know. The village. Sometimes the village don't need to be knowing, All right, let's see what else. I'm at 15 minutes, so I want to know more about the Three of Pentacles. Wow. Oh. Okay. Whoa. That's way too many. I'll take the wheel, though. You keep getting this, too. On the bottom, I keep getting the Page of Cups. This is the third time it's happened. And so the Page of Cups energy is an emotional immaturity. However, it can also be that of like a dreamer, a visionary. You see how in here there's a little pig flying, and he's kind of like looking up, and that's kind of like, oh yeah, well, this will happen for me when pigs fly. So I want to tell you something. The power of manifestation is real, and if you decree over your life that you'll never have this, or you'll never get there, or it'll never get better, or this, that, the third, it never will. So if you don't believe that something can happen for you, more than likely it won't. The power of the human mind is crazy. I promise you, if you put into practice believing in something bigger than yourself and having faith and trust, as hard as it may, and I'm not saying that you have to trust in God, I'm not saying Jesus, trust yourself. Because I feel like you already know. Okay, so when I asked about the Three of Pentacles, which is my card for the third party, remember? And it doesn't necessarily have to be, like I said, cheating. It can be just something getting in the way of a collaboration, a partnership, a relationship. So you have the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Eight of Swords talks about staying stuck. It's about staying stuck in your own mind. While the Knight of Wands is an active, passionate, can also be a message coming through. But the Knight of Wands is also, as a tarot reader, my card of a player. So, I don't know. However, with the Eight of Swords, I feel like this could be what I was just talking about. It can be a something that maybe that's happened in the past, something that, and the Wheel of Fortune talks about coming full circle, one door closing and another one opening. So perhaps this has happened in the past, and we can let our thoughts, we let our thoughts can create our reality. So again, the law of attraction and things like that I was just talking about, the power of manifesting. Sometimes we can manifest bad shit, or we project, past behaviors of a past relationship onto our new partner, just for an example. And that's not fair. So again, I feel like the Three of Pentacles talks about maybe somebody's mental health, acting impulsively. But it's all a part of the plan. The Wheel of Fortune talks about fate. It talks about destiny. And these things were supposed to happen so that you'll understand later. I really feel like you have some gifts and that you should lean into them a little bit more as far as trusting your intuition. Anyhow, that's what I have about that. Again, there's the issues are stemming from a lack of support, or feeling like there is no support. Maybe a promise has been broken between some close people. So with the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Swords, like I was talking about earlier, there can always be fear that keeps us stuck. Maybe your mind keeps you stuck from breaking out of this village. Oh, that's crazy, because the Knight of Swords is literally the card of anxiety, fear, and worry. It comes after the Eight of Swords. If we get stuck in our own mind, we lead to sleepless nights. We can't function. Yeah, that's... Yeah. So, our fear can keep us trapped in places like a village that we need to break free from. Or that we should leave behind. Easier said than done, I know. But our fear keeps us trapped, and if we say that we can't do something or it'll never happen, then, you know, that's where it starts. There's definitely an idea of getting grounded or established somewhere. However, this feels like it's always presented with some sort of conflict. Anytime you feel like you've got that, there always seems to be some sort of upheaval. So it's like getting grounded and established. This is something that you want. This is something that you're encouraged to go after. See, the King of Pentacles, remember I talked about the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Well, now you have the King of Pentacles. So that's a progression. So I see finance or job situation getting better. So maybe you're feeling like maybe once you get settled or you get comfortable in a job, here comes the fucking shit. And yeah. So that could be something that could or needs attention or that's happening. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a job. It just feels like once something gets steady, once there's some stability and security and you've healed, you've gotten better, there comes the upheaval. How can Felicia handle this energy? I'll take this one sticking. Oh, the card of Justice. Queen of Cups. Okay. The Magician. Okay. So, remember I was talking about the power of manifesting. The Magician is literally the card of manifestation. So, okay. The Justice card is about finding balance. It's also about relationships. So, the Queen of Cups is a very caring, kind, intuitive, motherly, nurturing, loving. I don't know if I said loving already. And it can also represent water signs, which you are a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. So the Justice card can also represent Libra. I don't want to get too heavy into what signs are what on the cards, but this is a very powerful card combination, because this is truth also. This is harmony. This is, and it's like I said, relationships, balance, clearly. But it's also about the mirror. So you see the reflection here. A mirror, being a mirror is sometimes, you know, well, we project, okay, so whatever is on the inside of us, we will see that as that's how our world will be. So if we're tore up and we're pain and heaviness on the inside, more than likely our outer world is likely to consist of the same. So again, you have total control of creating your reality. And I'm not saying that we bring our, well, we do, we can, we bring our own pain. You know, I know we don't ask for it a lot of the time, but again, it's like we are so deeply rooted in our trauma from our past, and that's what brings forth the way we react in the present. So the root of your struggling right now starts with this, the village and the vow. I will include the vow. Because it was at the bottom. And so whether it is the village in which you were in when you were a child or the village you're in now, there is some sort of I guess lesson or just it's a big deal. It's what kind of snowball affects everything in your life, if that makes sense. Like how you handle things, how your marriage goes, everything goes back to the village. So your sense of belonging, home, stability, security, where you're established, the support system around you, or the lack thereof, you know, whatever the case may be, remember that is what we go back to when we're looking at the root. And it really starts with yourself. And how can you put this practice into action? It's easier said than done. Oh, Courtney said, you know, just to manifest, you know, I'm gonna think positive. It's not that easy. But I want to stress the powerful combination here of manifestation within yourself as an intuitive person, because I strongly feel that you have gifts, and I feel like they should be leaned into if you're ready for that. But if not, just learn to trust yourself more, because you're not wrong. That's what I feel. I don't know you, but I just know that I just tell you what the cards say and how I feel intuitively inside by reading the cards. So I'm just going to pull a couple of more just for any last messages for Felicia. Is there anything else she should know regarding the village? Okay. The King of Cups. We just had the Queen too. The Lovers. And the Nine of Wands. Okay. So I definitely do feel like this has to do with a relationship. And it's exhausting. The Nine of Wands is a wounded warrior. It's the card of exhaustion. It can literally mean exhaustion. The Lovers, and we just had the Queen of Cups, so the King of Cups is out now. So I do feel like this has to do with another counterpart. It's about a decision you have to make. The Lovers is about a decision. It can also be about a Gemini. Just throwing that out there. So the Lovers card is about balance also. It's about you can't have one without the other. So it's like, you know, anyway, I'll go off onto a tangent, but this definitely feels relationship to me, or another person is involved. It's exhausting on you. What else? You have to change your situation, whatever that is to you, your job, the relationship, the home. I really feel like it's something to do with the home because of the Village. The Magician is out again. Remember, you are the one that has to change it. You have all, and also the Magician talks about you have all of the tools that you need to do this, whatever you need to, the action you need to take. Some sort of action has to be taken. The Nine of Wands is about also taking action, but it's about hard work. And so it might take hard work for you to get out of the situation that you're in, but you can't keep going on this way. And the Five of Swords. This is about, it can be about a betrayal. It can be about, so like a victory but defeat. So it's just painful. It's painful. The Empress. The Eight of Pentacles. Again, hard work. Eight of Pentacles. But this is hard work paying off. Oh, this one was... And the Knight of Wands again. So, yeah, this is about taking action as well. And remember, there's that energy of the player. But this is also for... I feel like in this situation, it's talking about there has to be some sort of action. And it might be hard work, but it will pay off. And this is... You know, the Empress is about... It's about total feminine energy. It's also... Just like the Queen of Cups, it's an intuitive, loving, I'm feeling myself energy, creating new ideas, the creative. It's about, it doesn't necessarily have to be about giving birth, but it's birthing a new idea, a plan, a way. And with hard work and action, has to be some sort of action taken. So it's like, if you come up with this plan to... I don't know. It's just a plan is needed. You can't just impulsively act. But there's some sort of situation hindering you, not helping you. That's what I've got. I'm going to take a look also at astrological things, but I'm going to go ahead and send the video. I hope this helps. If you have any other questions or need me to elaborate on something I said, I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I'll take a look at your astrological transits and I'll type that up and send it in a text. Bye!